going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. And we are awesome. No, we are 200, sir.
We are awesome for the 200th time.
Yes.
easily for the 200th time. Welcome everybody. Yeah, it's 200. It's the 200th episode of the A Show. It is. Jeez Louise. You know what's crazy? I'm back where probably I've recorded a lot of the early episodes of the A Show since now that I'm back at work, which I don't enjoy, but hey, what are you going to do? But it kind of feels like home. Kind of feels like, listen, me, empty studio, recording the A Show when I'm supposed to be working. But hey.
Same here, you know. Same here.
But hey, it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling. We're taking up every little time, doing our lunches, doing our things to make sure we bring you guys the best show and we bring it on time as well. But 200th episode, I want to ask you, Justin.
Yeah.
Did you ever think we'd make it to 200 episodes?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
But by when? Like episode 1 or like by episode like 104?
Okay. Let me be clear. It got shaky in the pandemic, and I think we did have a conversation about that last year. Like, what are we gonna do? You know, if this shuts down, what does this become? And I think that actually stopped us from doing the Patreon for such a long time because we didn't know what was gonna happen. So I was worried that we would have to take a break, and a long break because we didn't know if wrestling would be around. But I say around 100. I was like, if we did this for 100, we could do this for another 100. Like I think episode 100, I was like, yeah, we can really do this because you did it for 100 weeks and I did it for 100 weeks, and it just became a part of our lives. Like this podcast is just such a part of my life that even like, you know, I tell people at my job about it and they're like super excited. I tell my fiance about it and she's like, oh, you're recording. You know, I'm gonna leave you alone from this time to this time because I know what's up. You know, so like this has become less of a hobby and really more of like a passion. Is doing this podcast and thinking in different ways and arguing with you and talking to you. Like I talk to you every week.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like at the same time for 200 weeks, there were times like when I worked at All Def Digital in LA, I would go to the third floor where no one would be there and we record, and I record at work just so that we could get it out for the night.
Right.
You know, like just the dedication that we've had.
We can say that now because we no longer work there.
Yeah. This is the dedication that we've had to this show has been tremendous. I mean, we have like a mixer now, and we have a Patreon now, and we have production now, and we have a whole team. You know, thank you to Cyrus and Quan and Armand and Chan and CC, like everyone who has given their time to us, because
even the people of the past, like Kahlo and MJ and all this other stuff like that. Even if you know, we're still here, represented, and all the guests too, man. All right, so here's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do. I want to give at the end of the show. I definitely want to thank all of our patrons, but I want to do a big thank you thing. You know, at the ender liners of like an album or something, they do a thank you.
Okay.
So I want to do that, but I also want you to queue up the instrumental for Kanye West's Last Call.
Was this the last episode?
No. It's just I did. Well, to be fair, I did that on Two Belts as well, and it just worked out really, really well. It was like the instrumental, you talking your shit, you getting your shit off, all this stuff like that. Like we able to, you know, give a thank you to everybody who's been a part of it. Like Last Call, Kanye West. It's just an appropriate song. I don't want to do like September by like Earth, Wind and Fire. Do you remember on the 20th?
It's almost September.
Should we do September?
Nah, that's not September.
No, all right. Well, because I don't.
let me actually stop my dogs from fighting. Hold on 1 second. Let me pause. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me stop my dogs from fighting. I'm not okay. Editing.
Well, you know, all right. So 200th episode. I never thought that we'd actually make it to the 200th episode, and I say that because of me. Because doing 200 episodes of anything is just crazy. Like, even, you know, after Two Belts, which was the closest thing I get to 200 episodes, was about like 171 episodes. I was like, okay, I think this show has kind of ran its course a bit. But doing 200 episodes on a weekly basis, like I never thought, especially after doing the two belts, which was for the most part on a weekly basis and doing that show, I never thought in my wildest dreams that we get to 200 episodes and doing it for 200 weeks in a row. And even the weeks I'm not there, we got people who support us and people who help us and people who help do the show and guests that we've reached out to that we never thought we'd get, including this episode. Like 200 episodes it's insane. It's insane. I feel like we're incredibly grateful for everything that's here, but I also feel like we shouldn't bury the lead on terms of the big guests that we have for this episode because, whew, boy, yes, 200 of them things.
We've been leveling up. And if you listen to us from episode 1 all the way, I mean, it don't matter when you stepped in, to listen to the show.
I don't care.
I mean, constantly up the bar and, really just tried to give you guys the best of the best. And I feel like now, it's in due time. Everyone says in due time, things happen. And we've really leveled up for everything. Obviously, as you guys already know and seen, today's guest is Bianca Belair. Who would have ever thought? It was shaky. We were scared last weekend because of the Sasha Bianca thing that was going on. That was shaky. I was texting Meelz the whole weekend like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we were a bit concerned because they said, like, due to unforeseen circumstances at house shows that, Bianca and Sasha will not be on the show. But I think we can guarantee you that they will be at SummerSlam. We can definitely guarantee that because she wouldn't have done this interview and we wouldn't have talked so much about SummerSlam if we didn't think they would all be there. So we can guarantee you that Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks will be at SummerSlam and we'll be able to predict that match towards the end of this show. But yeah, I mean, Bianca Belair, oof, what a get, man. What a fun interview too.
I think this is our best interview yet. I don't really want to have people wait any longer for this. We'll be right back after the interview's over with more A Show and our thoughts about the Bianca Belair interview. Just a second. We'll be right back on the A Show.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the 200th episode of the A Show. That's right, 200. We're still locking in. We're still doing it. And we've got a guest worthy of this. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is amazing. This is awesome. Like 200 episodes in, and we never thought this would happen, but we're here. Of course, we have, I got to go through, I have an intro here. So we have Royal Rumble 2021 winner.
Yes.
We have current SmackDown Women's Champion.
Okay.
We have ESPY Award winner.
Okay.
We have, I'm seeing this, I got to double check if it's confirmed. WWE PC 3-time Combine champion. 3 times. 3 times.
3 times. 3 times. 3 times. Yeah.
We got Mrs. It's Not Even Fair, Miss Bianca Belair. Welcome to the A Show, 200th episode. Welcome here.
Hello. I love that intro. I love the partner about the 3-time PC Combine champion. People always forget that one. That's a very important one too.
No, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair at all. I'm not even sure how many combines you guys have had.
3.
Oh my!
What we love to do on the show, we like to raise people's jerseys on the rafters, like it's like a sports team. Your jersey has to be on the PC rafters forever after that one.
It has to be. If it's not right.
3 for 3. Of course, we got to remind everybody that SummerSlam will stream live this Saturday, August 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Peacock. And we've got one of the ladies who's just in the main event of this. And trust me, we've been watching. We watch on Friday on Smackdown. Listen, it's been a little rough. Listen, and you got a smile on your face, but I know the smile.
No, I've been practicing the table flip all weekend.
Don't hurt yourself now.
Listen, everybody has dubbed every Jamaican because that looked like one of those basement parties moves. What went through your mind when you did the table flip? Because
listen, it has been rough the past couple of weeks. Like I said, I always fully expected a rematch with Sasha. That's why I said all you had to do was ask. I fully expected it. And I just would have gone about it a different way. So at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? It's over and done with. We're having a contract signing. We're going to get down to business is where we're at. And then, of course, Zelina and Carmella come out, which that's really what kind of threw me off. Because I'm like, why is this happening? I understand I have a target on my back. But at that point, I'm like, okay, it's 3-on-1. I already know what's about to happen. So I'm going to have to make the first move here. I'm like, I never back down from a fight. I'm going to have to do what it do and go at them. So I try to go at all three of them. And I was like, the table's there. So I call myself the EST for a reason. And I always find an athletic way to do something. I was like, let me do something that Sasha's not expecting. So I just flipped over the table. That's the easiest thing for the EST to do, right? Like it's easier for me to flip over the table than to just jump over it or walk around it.
Yeah,
it was in
the table.
Yeah. But I flip over the table. I had to give her the hands real quick. So,
And really, you're no stranger to like just beat downs in general. I can remember like maybe a year and a half, 2 years back, you showed up at Zelina Vega's house to beat her up.
On Twitch. Listen, Sasha Banks got to know that on any platform you can get it. Yeah, any platform, Twitch, Peacock, Fox, USA.
But I think these girls, they take my kindness for a weakness. I'm like, I go here now. I'm new to this. I'm Smackdown Miss Champion. I'm new. I'm trying to be professional here and be nice here, but all that's out the window now. And I got a little grudge against Zelina and Carmella as well, because like you had your turn. Like wait, like let's just wait. But it is what it is. I always say you did what you did. I felt how I felt. I said what I said, and now it is what it is.
Absolutely.
You know why I think they're underestimating you, and I don't know why, because the Hell in a Cell was not too long ago, but I think it was because you was about to have that last man standing match with Bayley, and it didn't happen. And I knew you was about to pull out some, EST was about to go times 10 in that, and I knew that was going to happen. So maybe it was because that didn't happen, and they were like, "Oh my God, well, It's a."
Maybe so. Who knows what's going on in their head right now? But I'm gonna show up and show out for SummerSlam. So that's all that matters at this point.
Absolutely. Speaking of showing out, you had on your IG stories the other day, you making the gear for SummerSlam.
Yeah. I make all my gear. And I always say I save a lot of money, but I don't save a lot of time. So, it's a lot that goes into what I do. It's not just me training and working out. Like I'm making my own gear. I try to invest myself fully into what I do. I just started making it last night. So I'm loving it so far. I don't want to hype it up too much, because if it doesn't live up to the expectations, I'm gonna be like, oh, my bad. But I think it should be on an action figure in the future.
Okay. Is there a theme for it? Is there a theme? Any theme that
no spoilers, but just like
no spoilers, but is there a theme?
The theme really, it just speaks for itself. And when you see it, you'll understand what I mean when I say that. It speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
Has there been some gear that you've made that you've been like, I don't know, like last minute, you just had to kind of go with it?
Honestly, all of my gear is usually last minute. I usually have like this idea in my head, and then at the last minute it switches, and I'm like expediting fabric to be here, and I'm doing it the night before. My WrestleMania gear, it was literally down to the last. I was doing it in the hotel room, and I was still like looking at it, trying to figure out, do I like it? Do I not like it? Is this good? Is it not? The Hell in a Cell gear with Bayley. It's like I've been trying to do different things and new things lately, trying to push my limits, because I'm a YouTube sewer. I'm not a professional sewer. I learned everything off of YouTube and trial and error. Yeah. So like my WrestleMania gear, I had no idea how it was going to come out. Hell in a Cell, same thing. It was like a puzzle trying to piece it together, but it usually all comes out good. I think.
We absolutely agree. It does. It comes out great. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to talk about just something that happened a months ago. You had this great moment on NXT with Raquel and Rhea Ripley and holding up the three. I mean, it kind of felt like a new era type of deal. Kind of, how did you feel kind of going in that moment? What can you kind of maybe share about this moment that you shared with two of your, I guess, how can I say this? Because you've been through wars with them. You know what I'm saying? With them, against them, et cetera, et cetera. How did that moment make you feel?
I was excited to have that moment. It was my first time people saw me outside of WrestleMania as Smackdown was champion. And in my mind, I'm like, this makes so much sense to go back to where it all started. It's
Mhm.
Raquel, it's Rhea, and it's me. So we all were in NXT together. We kind of all started together. We all progressed together, and I really thought it was really cool to share that moment with them, right where it all started. And I think what's great about the dynamic between us three is that we were all competing against each other in NXT, but at the same time, we never brought someone else down to lift
Mhm.
ourselves up. Like we always were able to clap for each other when it wasn't our turn. And now in that moment we were all able to clap for each other, and it was all of our turn. So it was really cool, and it was really cool that I was SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea was Raw Women's Champion, Raquel was NXT Women's Champion. It was like you said, like a new generation of women's wrestlers that are coming through, and that was really the cool part. And we were just so excited to share that moment together. And then like when we looked behind us, we saw the picture. It was three of us from an NXT live event from maybe like 2 years ago. You really just saw like
Wow.
the progression from then to now, and to be representing this new generation of women coming through. So I'm super excited about that still.
Yeah. So what I do want to talk about is just really kind of like your impact so far since you've really just come into wrestling in general. Like I don't know if you realize this, but like you're kind of like a gateway for a lot of fans and people of color who really want to get into this. Like do you like kind of like realize like the magnitude of like what you're doing? Like that it's huge.
Yeah, it's cool. I see like all the comments on Instagram and social media, and then I really see it like when I'm out, and especially when I see, little girls that look like me, especially little boys like me, especially, and they're just like, oh my God, you're such an inspiration. And it's not this ego boost for me. It's I just think about the impact and that I'm having. And also like even ever since when I first came in, even into NXT, my main thing was always just being unapologetically me and representing for my culture and my community and people that look like me, especially. And to bring more of that those eyes to the product and being someone and show, like it is not just me. It's so much diversity in WWE, and really just emphasizing that and putting it out there that WWE is for everybody, especially my community, my culture. If you can look and see so much diversity among the Black community, so many different types of Black. So anybody can look and see someone that they can relate to, that they can just that they can feel something from. So that was always one of my key things, even coming from NXT. My husband and I used to always talk about it. And we're like, we're just going to be us and try to bring the culture in and bring everybody along for the ride. And that's why I was super like excited about doing Rolling Loud.
Yes.
Especially because like even before we found out that we were going, my husband and I saw the lineup and we were trying to figure out ways to get tickets so that we could go. And then when I found out we were having a match, I'm just like, this is it. This is this is a great starting point. It felt like I finally had both of my worlds colliding.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about wrestling, but then I'm so passionate about my culture. Now they're both colliding, and we're bringing all these new eyes to the product. And it's just, I felt like I saw a girl tweeting about it on Twitter, and I was like, I feel that. She was saying that she was at Rolling Loud, and she's a wrestling fan as well. She was saying that was the first time she actually felt whole.
I think that was Alexis. I think that might have been Alexis.
Yep. She said that's the first time she felt whole. And I'm like, that's exactly how I felt in that moment. So it's really cool to just be here representing and possibly draw more eyes in. I love it.
What's great to me is that from the moment you stepped in, from your promos to the way you carry yourself, it's authentic. I feel like I know you. Like I tell my fiance all the time, like I feel like I've met her before. You know what I'm saying? Because she's just so much like someone that we all know, and I think that's really how it connects to people. It's like when you saw The Rock on the screen for the first time. You know what I mean? It's like that's a guy that we know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I feel like you can't even you can like give direction, but you can't even write for someone like you. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's gonna be able to be like. Because the way you add the little like spice, you add a little sizzle to everything they kind of do. Listen, it's the how can I say this? Do I want to do a Bianca Belair impression from Bianca Belair?
Let me hear it. Yes,
you your impressions here
now.
It's like you don't even go here. Like that type of thing. And because you did the arms too. And and it's, you can't write those things, and it comes off so authentic, and I think that's why everyone connects with you, because it just kind of even feels so real. No matter if you're playing, the baby face, or if you're playing the heel, it's like, yeah, like it's Bianca at the end of the day. Like, you could have went by one name and it would have been enough said. Now let me ask you another question, since you're the EST of NXT. Now, you've done a lot of interviews, and I know because we were prepping for this interview and we watched and read them all, so we wouldn't ask the same questions. So what do you kind of do now? Because you're doing a lot of work. You're a SmackDown Women's Champion. You're out on the road. You're doing Rolling Loud. You're going to Lollapalooza. All this other stuff. How does Bianca kind of unwind? What kind of brings you back like whole? Because in this, like, you can get caught up in the personality of it all, the majesty of it all. Like, I'm Bianca Belair, I'm the EST, but what brings you back down to Bianca? Like, what shows you watch? Do you have any kind of ritual that you do at home? Do you like shut everything off? Like, how do you just like, just be whole again?
Well, I'm a person that never stops moving. Like, I've always been a person that I love to work. If I'm not working, I find something to do. But for me, really, it's just coming back home and spending more time with my husband and my family. I love doing DIY projects. I love doing work around the house. I did this wall behind me. I'm always doing something. I love to sew, which is kind of I'm still kind of in Bianca Belair mode, but I love to read. I love to bake cakes and cook. I actually like decorate cakes. I do a lot of DIY projects. I like to binge watch shows so much right now. I'm binge. Actually, last night I just watched the latest episode of Sisters, which is the Tyler Perry show.
Yeah.
I just finished catching up on Queen Sugar. I love any type of like hospital shows, like Grey's Anatomy and Good Doctor, and all those type of shows. We just watched the latest episode of Kanan.
The Power
series. And we just finished The Shy. So I love just coming home and also just like watching shows and unwinding, reading, cooking, spending time with my husband, doing DIY projects around the house. And I love working out, which, I mean, you could say that's still being in Bianca Belair mode, but that's so much a part of who I am that's just me. Yeah. I love working out, but I had to put the top of the list, just spending time with my husband and my family. And I actually do a book club with my best friend. It's just me and my best friend. We read the same book together. We try to get on once a week, and we like do book club with each other.
Oh, that's fire.
I mean, that's fire. I mean, you don't get to the 3-time combine champion without working out. So I expected that.
Oh my God. All right. So now you're back on the road.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's back on the road. Is this your first time like legit on the road back to back?
Yeah, everybody kept saying, like, how does it feel to be back on the road? I was like, no, this is my first time.
This is your first time on the road. So you guys are driving. I'm assuming, I don't know who you're with, but I wanted to ask you actual question, because all these interviews, you've name dropped an artist at some point. I need to know, Bianca Belair, you plug in the aux on the radio. You got the aux. What do you got playing? Give me like a couple of joints. What do you got playing?
Man, my playlist is so all over the place.
I need to know. Listen, the all over the place, the more all over the place, the better.
All over the place. I always have J. Cole on there. Mm-hmm. I have Beyonce on there. I have some Kirk Franklin in there. I always have City Girls, Meg, Mulatto, Lotto. My husband, actually, he's been playing the new Nas album lately.
Great album.
Which is so good. Like, and Lauryn Hill is on there. I'm like, can you put that on repeat? But that's like, I'm just kind of like all over the place. I love a little bit of everything.
What's the one song that if it come up, like you ain't even like that song was for you, but it came up on the aux anyway, and you were just like, oh, I mean, we can skip this song. It's like for you. It's your own personal, maybe guilty pleasure type of record.
Oh, I would have to say, so there's this Beyonce song that I love to listen to when I wake up in the morning, when I'm working out, whenever I just need to get like upbeat. But it's crazy because I can never remember the name specifically for the song, but I can sing it for you a little bit.
All right, sing a little bit because I know this. I'll know it.
Okay. Let's see. I can't sing, but I can sing if you know what I mean.
You're the EST.
Gotcha.
You're the EST.
It's like, I'm not a preacher, babe, but no, I'm not a teacher, babe, but
School and Life. There you go.
But yeah, that song I love, and I probably just sang the words wrong, but I think I'm singing it right. That's the song that I can listen to no matter what time of the day.
Oh my
and
God.
I love Kurt Franklin Revolution, which that just gets me hyped all the time.
Oh, turn that up. Okay. All right. We got to get the playlist soon.
Expected, but yeah. And J. Cole KOD, that song too.
No, we got to get the playlist soon. We got to get the playlist. I don't know if you got one that's public or anywhere like that, but we got to get the Bianca Belair playlist. Gosh, we have
some quick questions. We're running out of time.
Of course, but okay. So quick questions. These are come from our patron. Shout out to everyone who support the A Show for the past 200 episodes. Bianca Belair, 200th episode. What female would you like to have a match with that you haven't had already?
Ooh, I always say, especially if it's the legend Beth Phoenix. I always have a match with Beth Phoenix, hand down. And I've never had a match with Raquel, not even in NXT. I was tagging with her or against her, but a singles match with Raquel would be really cool.
Ooh, okay. All right. What non-wrestling athlete do you draw inspiration from?
Ooh, most recently, Simone Biles. For her putting her mental health before her performance and really just putting that out there and making it more comfortable, an environment where athletes can be more comfortable being vulnerable with their mental health. So definitely Simone Biles recently. In the past, it was always FloJo and Gail Devers and Dominique Dawes for me.
Oh my God. Okay. Have you ever seen the clip on Twitter of you beating down Carmella and Dana Brooke to Crime Mob stilettos?
Yeah.
I just need to know if you saw that.
It's a lot of different clips to that, but yeah, I've definitely seen that one. That was a song in high school. That was a dance too.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. Oh, how do you go about adding to your moveset? Is there any inspiration, or you try to be original as possible?
I try to be as original as possible. I want to go in the ring and I want to say like what nobody can do what I do. I try to draw inspiration from my background. That's why I try to do the clean and press when I'm pressing girls over my head and doing all kind of different things. I try to push the boundary. But yeah, I just try to be as original as possible. And I try to draw something from each EST. I try to do something that shows that I'm the fastest, something that shows that I'm the strongest, and something that shows that like, I don't know the word for it, but like being a high flyer sometimes, like 450s and shooting star presses. I don't really know if there's an EST for that. The
flyest.
The flyest. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flyest. I'm sure you have some new moves you're coming up with for Sasha. I'm sure she got a whole book that you're about to do to her on Saturday.
Let me ask this. Was there anybody at the ESPYs that you were starstruck when you saw him on the carpet, you saw him on the thing, anywhere, anybody?
I wouldn't say starstruck, but I was very excited. We saw Tay Diggs.
Okay.
And I'm a huge fan of All American. I watch All American, the show, and Sasha and I were standing in line to go to the bathroom, and he walked past us, and he came and shook our hands. He was like, "I'm a huge fan of you guys. Keep doing what you're doing." I'm like, "Oh, that was Tay Diggs. He was watching us." But also Naomi Osaka, she was sitting right in front of us, the table in front of us, and I was like, "That's Naomi." And I was like, I want to take a picture with her, but I don't know. I don't want to ask her. I don't know what to do. So I didn't get a picture with, but maybe in the future. I think she's super inspiring too. She's just so talented. And she also puts her mental health before her performance too. So I love everything that she represents.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Justin, you got any questions you want to ask?
Oh man, I think one more question from our listeners. So you debuted at last year's WrestleMania. How did it feel to debut there, but kind of wait a little bit before you kind of broke out into your own?
It was interesting. The whole plan was at first for me to debut the Raw after WrestleMania. Because they were like, we're going to give you this huge debut. You're going to get your moment. And then it was really, I think the night before that morning, I got a phone call and they said, "Oh, you're debuting at WrestleMania with the Street Profits." Like, oh, okay. So it's really true that you have to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready here because opportunities come so fast. But we really just tried to make the best of it. It was cool because it was like, yeah, we don't have fans, but I'm debuting in my first WrestleMania alongside my husband in the Performance Center, which is where we met. So it's kind of like a full circle type of thing. To fast forward to now, we're back on the road, and I'm now SmackDown Women's Champion, and I got to basically debut in front of a crowd as SmackDown Women's Champion now. So I kind of got a debut I never really got to have, but it's even better now. So
absolutely,
it was tough, but we made the best of it. We were able to adapt, and now full circle, we're on the road to SummerSlam.
Absolutely,
full capacity audience, so it's going to be amazing.
Dope, yeah.
That's all we got. I mean, we want to thank you, obviously, because you're someone who we talk about weekly on the show. We love your authenticity. We love your blackness. We love everything that you bring to the table because you represent us, and I think you represent us in an amazing way. And yeah, there's so many people just in our community, our internet wrestling community, with a lot of Black fans, because we're also trying to reach out. We have this community now that we never had before. And, everyone is just so proud of you, and everyone just loves you so much. And, you do an amazing job. So we want to say thank you, first of all, for being on our show, and just thank you for being who you are.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. And thank you for having me on the show. This was fun. It's a very fun interview. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. And I will see you at Madison Square Garden next week.
Yes, in New York. This will be my first time wrestling in Madison Square Garden. So it's going to be lit.
Oh, turn up.
Right.
Justin,
yeah, for sure,
take us out.
Absolutely. So that was our interview with Bianca Belair. When we come back on the A show, we'll be back with SummerSlam prediction. So me and Meelz will be arguing a lot more. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back on the A show, episode 200, Bianca Belair interview. So cool, the coolest.
I think I think we got the best interview with her. That she said she enjoyed the interview. I think that's enough of a like. If anything, I feel great about is that at the end of the interview, you can audibly hear her say on wax that this was a really fun interview. So I'm pretty, there's nothing you can say to me at this point. Like we had a good time. I think we got a really entertaining interview. I think we got a little bit out of her that no one else really gets, because prepping for this interview, I watched a lot of her interviews, and shout out to the amazing people who've interviewed her, because she's been everywhere. Like, she's been doing it big. Shout out to, like, I read Cal's interview with her, because he's interviewed her like multiple times over the last number of months. I've read kind of everywhere that has, had her, to just kind of get the feel of her. And then I was like, you know what? We need to switch up the feel. We're not like, we're not, handcuffed, I say, by like, editorial standards or something along those lines. We can get loose with it. We can get, we can do a bunch of things. So I think going into that interview, it was just very loose energy. It was just very real energy and authentic. And I think she felt that. And I hope you guys felt the interview. Yeah, that was fucking amazing. I was geeked after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we looked at a lot of interviews. We saw a lot of the questions, and it is tough because they do so much press. It's tough to find an angle sometimes, but we managed to find a really fun angle. And thank you to all of our patrons who left questions as well. Hopefully, those answers were sufficient for you guys. But I think it was important that we all, as people of color, got to have that conversation. You know what I mean? Especially, certain parts of it. You don't get that perspective from a lot of places and a lot of outlets that she has interviewed
Absolutely.
with. And I think that it was really important, and it meant a lot to me for us to really just have that conversation and really kind of break the elephant in the room. Like, let's talk about how she is really a gateway, and people are going to look at her the same way they look at Rock, the same way they look at a lot of people, as someone who got them into wrestling. So shout out to Bianca Belair. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us for a 200th episode. That was big. I think for F100, I had all of those like vignettes and stuff like that. So this was a nice level up to that 100 episodes later. Let's see where we are. I listened to 100 a couple of days ago, and I got
word.
Yeah.
I listened to Make It Make Sense, and I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of got mad all over again. I was like, "What the hell is this nigga talking about?" Like,
I was talking that real. That's
also, we had a lengthy, you know, I've been thinking of like putting together this like reel of like our best of episodes. So I've actually gone back and listened to quite a few episodes, and maybe it'll be out soon, or at some point it will be out. We got a lot of things to do this week, but it was just, you know, that episode, a lot of people mentioning it as one of their favorite ones. Everyone who's been down since pretty much day one at this point, or at least day 76. But wow, like discussions. The weird part about doing 200 episodes with you is we don't really have those type of heated debates as much anymore, because I think we're just so used to each other now. We kind of have formulated similar opinions just by osmosis of us being in, you know, next to each other and having these discussions every single day, whether we're doing it on a podcast or not. We're having these things. We're in group chats. We're on the timeline. We're doing these things every day. So we don't have these very spirited, how can I say it? Let's say it like that, spirited discussions, but still, you know, great episode. Great to go back to. Great. And I sent you a clip from that episode where you were like, these AEW guys don't seem like they're on the same page when they're giving all these answers. And this is like 2019.
Yeah. And you know, it still rings true today. But I don't like to listen to that episode. I think it was the most that we had ever been. We had another episode where we just, at the end, I was just like, fuck this nigga. And then like after like 10 minutes, I was just like, all right, I'm not mad anymore. Like I don't like getting that contentious. I think people like to see us go at each other's necks. I think those are people's favorite episodes, when we're like, we have a stark disagreement.
I think because we're both spicy when we go back and forth with it, like very, very spicy. Like, okay, all right. And I've learned how your interview style a little bit. Not interview, but your antagonizing style a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You though. That's the
You
whole
sure?
thing.
You sure?
Hey, I let the people decide.
Fuck out of here. Okay, all right. Anyway, that was our amazing interview with Bianca Belair. Tell your friends, tell everybody. If you love the show and you love if we're past 200 episodes, please share the show. And yeah, put another wrestling fan on. Put someone else who may not, you know, who wondering like, yo, should I get back into this? How can I get into this without having to spend 7 hours a week watching wrestling? Like, yo, put them on the A show. We got you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're here. Let's get into some no holds barred. Actually, no, before we do that, we got a couple more things to announce on the show for week 200. We got a very special Twitter Spaces conversation happening on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be Hot Takes Live with myself, Meelz, and the gang, taking all your favorite hot takes, all your most crazy hot takes on Twitter Spaces.
We're going to be doing it. I mean, hot takes are I love these episodes because I love to hear what you guys think. And then also you guys are maybe just as insane about this stuff as we are. So or maybe even more at this point. So I love the hot take stuff, and I think it's a great opportunity to do it live in front of people and hopefully get some live hot takes. I'm going to get some before we do it, just so we have some in the tank and stuff like that if you want to spit some off real quick. But I definitely want to hear you guys come up to the stage, or whatever the hell Twitter Spaces calls its thing, and definitely talk about it. So 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be having this Twitter Spaces on Thursday. I look forward to see all of you guys there, and I look forward to see what the hell you guys got to say. It's literally nothing's off base. You want to talk to us about AEW, you want to talk to us about NXT, you want to talk about WWE, you want to give a non-wrestling hot take, which I always love. Yeah, stop by, you know?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. No holds barred. It's like a big week of news, but not a big week of news. Like there's like really big things that happen, but we're actually gonna unlock all the no holds barred this week to just to celebrate 200. Obviously, Patreon's getting the episode first. We're gonna unlock no holds barred to everybody this week. This is another gift to the people. Don't worry, Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still get all the exclusives if you don't have.
Y'all got Invasion Diaries. You better. Patreon got Invasion Diaries. They got so much stuff coming. We got the Legendary Run season 2. Have you guys officially announced what the topic was or no yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be Batista season 2,
Dave
Legendary.
Batista.
We're gonna talk about Dave Batista's 2005. So
listen, that's the entryway, baby. So many people. Cardi B discusses the 2005 of Batista, and she remembers it in vivid memory. So yeah, this should be fun, and we got some other special content coming up very, very soon.
Very soon. Shh, can't talk about should be $5 a month. Shh, get everything. $5 a month. You want to be on our Patreon, $20 a month. Shh, you good, you good. So first up on No Holds Barred this week, Keith Lee finally explained his mysterious absence from this year in a about a 9-minute video on YouTube, talking about how just a lot of revealing things, a lot of really not dark but very scary things that happened to him. Obviously, we knew that he had caught COVID, and that's why he had been off the show. We didn't know why he disappeared for so long between the months of January and now when he returned. But he mentioned that he caught COVID, and in doing his checkups and things, the WWE medical staff had found out that he had a heart inflammation issue that kept him out of the ring for over 6 months. He mentions the support of Mia Yim, who, while taking care of him, also caught COVID and missed her spot in the Royal Rumble, which again makes a lot of sense now and really kind of shows that she was willing to sacrifice. I mean, honestly, Meelz, I think if she had been in the Royal Rumble, she would be on TV right now, because I think that her taking care of Keith Lee is probably now we understand why she hasn't been on TV is because she's been taking care of him.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it brings a lot to actual light. I mean, a lot of people are having this discussions about where's Keith, where's everything. And I think he's been holding it up too. And I think over the last number of months, we've seen his Twitter posts before he actually returned on television. He's been quite frustrated with kind of how things are going, because he definitely felt like his career, especially at a time that we're at in the WWE, especially kind of like, I guess it's a heightened a little bit of like, nerves and stuff because of releases and so much stuff is going on. WrestleMania back in front of crowds, people like the business is moving. And I think he felt like he was missing it, and you can kind of sense the frustration from a lot of the, a lot of his tweets and posts. But he promised this reveal. I wouldn't even say it's a reveal. I kind of want to say it's like, I don't know, like it felt like kind of expressing the things that he's been going through. But I think he expressed it more so for a reason. I don't think this was to kind of like subdue the fans, the rabid fans who like, WWE is not pushing Keith Lee and what are they doing with him and blah, blah, blah. I think it's overall kind of a learning lesson to kind of like, make sure that your health is a priority at the end of the day. Like all of this other stuff, all of this stuff is great. The NXT championships, the world championship shots, the Royal Rumbles and all this other stuff is great. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, like without your health and wellness, without your mental health, without your physical health, without everything kind of like moving at the same pace, like you're going to end up burning yourself out. And it could have been a condition similar to like, let's say, Eddie Guerrero, for instance, right? Like imagine, and I think a lot of the health and wellness policy came kind of swinging out of that, because they found a lot of conditions with him that were underlying that maybe if they'd been checking out beforehand, and maybe if it wasn't moving so hard and a lot of other stuff that they probably could have caught. But I think Keith is definitely prioritizing health first, and I appreciate the message and I applaud him for being so vulnerable with us when he really didn't have to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's a tough video to watch and see how much both he and Mia sacrificed in getting him back to health. I think it speaks a lot to the "what have you done for me lately" mentality of fans today, and blaming everything on the booking. Like I feel like we're just way too in the weeds with what's going on behind the scenes, that people don't see the forest for the trees sometimes. And I'm not saying that Keith Lee's situation is normal all the time and everyone goes through the same thing, but I think that it's possibly more normal than people think, especially now with mental health being at the forefront of everything. We just heard Bianca say on our interview that, two of the most biggest inspirations to her right now are people who take their mental health into consideration over the job, which they should. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? I even mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I said like Keith seemed off. He has seemed off, and he really just now to me started kind of getting his reps back. I saw his match on main event, the match with Carrion from a couple of weeks ago. He's just not getting to where he's supposed to be at now, and you know I think that they put him in position, and I think he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
That's amazing. I love it. More for and I assume Keith will be back where he's supposed to be. We're in the swing of things for SummerSlam, so it can't always be like everyone's getting their spot right now. But I'm sure after SummerSlam, everything after, we'll be back to where we need to be.
Yeah. Next up, you see this NXT revamp news.
Ooh, talk about it. More NXT news. Yo,
Yeah.
what was that? That Vince McMahon walking into thing changed the entire. I need to know what he saw. I need to know through his eyes. I need to know what because.
Looking at it from where we stand right now, looking at the call ups, the amount of years they've been there, the amount of people that are said to be getting called up. I mean, he probably looked at it and said, if you've been here for a certain amount of time, you need to get called up.
But what about like the operations of it? Like, so we're getting this news now that NXT is kind of like going back to tape schedule. I'm not sure if is it permanently or
that week. It's only for that week, and I'm guessing it's because, they're taking some time and revamping everything. I guess I don't know. I don't know why they're taping the next 2 weeks after Takeover is done, but I don't think it's because of revamp. But I don't like. But the thing is, people are like. Before we get to the main point of what Vince saw, like people are like, oh my god, they took the L, they're giving up. I'm like, this is what the show essentially was before it went to USA. Like, this is not different. This is just them doing what they've always done. In fact, if you watch the NXT like I did weekly for years, this isn't a surprise to me. And I think, you know, if they seeing what they're about to lose, if they're going to lose Cole, if they're going to lose, you know, any number of women that could get called up in the next couple of weeks, they do need to sit back and kind of revamp and tell new stories with these characters that they have. And I'm not saying the roster is done and dead and gone, because people keep saying, oh, they want bigger guys, they want younger guys. With all the people leaving, they do have a younger roster than they'd had, other than like Santos. Who else is older? Santos is probably like the oldest guy. Him and LA Knight are probably going to be the oldest guys there. I think LA Knight's almost 40. Santos almost 40. Trevor Lee or Cameron Grimes is probably like in his late 20s. Kyle O'Reilly's like early 30s. Yeah, like
don't tell Vince that.
But I mean, they're calling up a lot of people, and I think Vince probably saw like, ain't no more hiding in the PC. Get called up.
Absolutely. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. This NXT news, I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I think NXT is a show that you either enjoy or you don't enjoy. And I think all the speculation distracts from the quality of the performers or a lot of the things that are actually happening on the show, which, you know, some is good, some isn't good. But you know what? I think overall, focusing on the show itself, it's a good show. So I think
it has been my favorite. It's been my favorite weekly show up until like literally maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. SmackDown's kind of edged it out, but I mean, it's been consistent, if not anything, for the past year. So I don't know where the NXT is dead stuff is coming from. I don't understand it.
It's in comparison to the AEW thing, whereas AEW's thriving.
Listen, man, this is the thing. No matter what these two companies think, you know damn well that AEW don't get or NXT don't get half the amount of money in marketing and budget that AEW gets. You can look at the show and see that. Come on now, you knew this was a bigger show. What are y'all thinking? You knew it was a bigger show. Maybe in the beginning we were like, okay, it's kind of even. We don't know, but then it clearly lapped it. It's not the same.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not the same. I think overall it's AEW's main brand show against the NXT show, and I expect for AEW, at least their momentum is kind of rising. NXT, judging from all the moves, if it's taking a step back, the perception would be that it is failing or taking a step back. But I think it's really taking a step back to hopefully maybe take a step forward. I would love to see, in just my own personal thoughts on this entire thing and not just kind of analyzing it, I would love to see NXT continue as the show that it is. I would love to see it continue to strive to be that third brand, even though it's like, okay, yeah, like it's not Raw or SmackDown, but it's offering enough of an alternative, and it also gives a lot of people the ability to be in that kind of environment. Like, think of how much NXT has provided opportunities for these guys to have these long matches that maybe they wouldn't have anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? These make these performances that they wouldn't do. Bianca Belair, who, I mean, enough said about her, but it all started on NXT. You know what I'm saying? And the ability and kind of the latitude and everything that has now happened on the main roster is because everything that's been going on in NXT. And you can say that for a lot of guys on the main roster. So to think that NXT is dead or that NXT hasn't really contributed to anything, I think it's false. I think nonetheless, they will continue to produce stars. We will continue to see these amazing encounters. They have NXT TakeOver 36 on Sunday. Oof, got me messed up. They have it on Sunday, and it's going to be an amazing show. And you're going to be like...
It's an aggressive show. It's a lot of violence.
A lot of violence, baby. Come on, turn that up. But it's going to be an amazing show. And I think it's going to be... Bruh, I can promise you, I have not. I want to start a war? I don't really want to start a war. I'm not saying AEW is necessarily bad, but I'm saying, like, I haven't seen an AEW show better than some of these takeovers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I've watched 4 hours I've watched Cody drivel into midnight hours on a microphone talking about all this other stuff like that, but it still has not. It's not replicating the magic of whatever Sasha versus Bayley was, or it's not replicating the magic of, NXT TakeOver in New York, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. Like, they still haven't gotten to that part, and that's why I hold NXT so dearly. And I didn't want to put it at odds against AEW, but I'm just saying, in this standpoint, they still offer something on this show. Don't count it out yet. These people are performers. These people deserve a lot more, I guess. They deserve a lot more.
Some respect on their name. This is a roster, Meelz, that even if Adam Cole did leave, you still have Kyle O'Reilly, you still have Samoa Joe, you still have...
It's the next man up. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's everyone. It's the next man up, no matter who leaves.
Io is still there. You have a bunch of... Frankie Monet is still there, and she's just getting started. Like, there's a lot of people on the show. Like, the roster's not done and gutted. There are going to be a lot of people gone, but the thing is, Meelz, they should have been gone. And I'm glad they're finally moving some people, because I'm like, bro, we looked at the same... And granted, COVID fucked a lot of shit up. We get that. I understand that. But I think, like you said, NXT does need to take a step back, because they need to tell different stories. They need to tell stories differently. They need
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And I think that this will only serve as a good base for them to jump off of. Get Karrion out of there. That was a huge stain on the show to me, was having Karrion be that champion, because he wasn't the right fit for that brand.
Did you hear the news of why a lot of these releases happen, or at least the speculation on why these releases happen? It's because NXT had originally planned to do a lot of worldwide business, and because of COVID, all those kind of territories that we were hearing about NXT Japan, we were hearing about NXT Germany, or wherever the hell it is. I have no idea if they're actually plausible or not. But they had hired all these guys to essentially like put in these territories. And that's why you saw like a Dakota Kai on NXT UK back in the day before. And you saw a lot of other people, just floating around with other places. And I think kind of COVID messed the entire thing up. And I think overall they scrapped the plans and now just decided to kind of just scrap the idea in general. So what do you kind of think about that?
It makes sense. I think when you see people say don't tell me it's because of business, then what else could it have been but that? I mean, we're just now, Meelz, seeing Walter come back, Dragunov come back. People, because the thing is, the NXT UK, NXT pipeline was supposed to be free flowing, like you said,
right?
And then it stopped being that. And we knew why it was. And I'm like, I think people are way too obtuse about this. Like, yes, releases suck. It sucks not seeing your favorite people there anymore. But if you're telling me that, okay, they're saying that we don't really see this person being a fit on the main roster. The tryout didn't really impress us. Who are we to say, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if it's
No.
if it's not a fit, why do they got to stay there? You say they're hoarding people. If they're not a fit, let them go. Right? Am I sounding crazy here?
No, I mean, you're not sounding crazy at all. I mean, I think everyone's just kind of used to, I guess, the NXT where everyone stays and everyone has a great time and everyone's laughing, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, business, bro. It's different.
I can tell you one thing. Not everybody there is having a fun time. So, but that's with any job.
Right.
That's with any job. But yeah. Did you watch Heels on Stars?
I did not watch Heels on Stars. I feel terrible. Terrible.
Full disclosure here. One of our good friends, my brother, one of my best men at my wedding, Pat Barut, Pafifi himself. He was a staff writer on season 1 of Heels. So
never fucking knew. I'm so mad. I'm just.
I knew about a year ago because he was telling me what to watch. He was asking me what to watch. And I was like, oh, and then he actually got his own WWE Network account. He went deep into watching it. He will be watching pay-per-views with us. He was watching takeovers and all that stuff with us.
Never even asked me a pay-per-view. I would have told him all the great stuff, all the Miz matches in the world to see a true artiste in fashion. You know what I'm saying?
He was deep in it. I would say Pat knows a lot more about wrestling than like anyone. But the thing is, with this, it was so funny that Heels was kind of full circle for him. And really us, to be honest, because we would go to PWG shows all the time, and he loved Riddle, he loved Keith Lee, he loved seeing those guys, and so him being able to write a wrestling show to me was just it was the icing on the cake there, because he knew what the aesthetic was, and the aesthetic on Heels is that Reseda look, and the show stars Stephen Amell. First episode, I thought, and I said full disclosure because him working on it doesn't affect. It has no effect on what I would be reviewing. If it was whack, I would have told Pat it was whack, but it's not whack. It's actually a really good show. The first episode was really good.
I gotta tune in. Okay, all right. I gotta cop Star. No, I think I do have Stars.
It gets a little. If you don't have Stars, you can get a 7-day free trial, just to see if you like the first episode, and if you want to stick with it, it's only like $8 a month. Just do that until the seasons are out. I know a lot of people do that for power.
Or if you cheap like me, wait till the season ends and then cop the Stars pack.
You look like I imagine you looking like the purple emoji.
Just me with random emails trying out different shit, of course. Yeah.
So it's really good. I think the first episode does kind of suffer from exposition, too much exposition as to like what a heel is, what a face is, what kayfabe is. I'm just like, but I think it's because I'm familiar with it, and the show is trying to slowly indoctrinate people who aren't. But as a drama, just without the wrestling stuff, there is a lot of there's a lot of really good stuff in here. It deals with two brothers, one heel, one is a face, and they're dealing with kind of like the antiquated methods of the booking, and also trying to keep their wrestling federation afloat. And the first episode kind of has allusions to the Montreal Screwjob, has allusions to like Brett and Sean, a lot of stuff there that there's allusions to, and I thought it was really cool. A lot of cool name drops. Vince McMahon gets a name drop, Sting gets a name drop. A lot of really good name drops there for people who really love wrestling. But more than anything,
okay,
the actual wrestling on it, it's actually well done. It's actually treated with the respect that I think that like the camera work there is really good. But I after the end of the first episode, you're gonna be like, holy shit, where does this go from here? I would have been like, yo, the show gotta end here or somebody gotta die. Like it's the first like, Heels first episode, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm tapped in. So definitely check out Heels on Stars every Sunday. I think they upload on Saturday. I'm not sure the official time. I would imagine 8:00, but check it out on Stars.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's real good. It's real good. Shout out to Pafifi, man. He put his foot in this shit.
Yes. Shout out to my co-host on Mount Silver.
You're really salty. I told you.
I never heard of this. I do the show every week with you, and I did the show almost every week with him. Never heard of it in my life. But guess what?
You gotta
I
give him.
still love that.
I'm
gonna give him. We're recording a new Pokemon news coming out tomorrow. He's definitely gonna hear about this. Oh my god!
Because he's gonna say, "Oh no, I don't like to talk about work." Like, all right, bro,
shut up. Congrats. That's what I would say. I'd be like, shut up, you damn stars writer. You know, doing all these amazing creative things. Listen, that's how you got to boost your friends up. At least that's how we do it in New York. Like, man, shut your ass up with your job having ass.
Anything else happened this week? Anything? Oh, Rampage. AEW.
Rampage, yeah, AEW Rampage. It is the new hotness after Smackdown. Apparently, if you like 3 hours of wrestling on Monday night, you really love it on Friday night. Because Rampage aired, it debuted right after Smackdown this week. Had quite the
the push.
A little push, you know what I'm saying? First of all, you gotta love that a company kicks off its first show and the company's title is not even on the line. It's a completely other company's title. But nonetheless, amazing match between Kenny Omega and Christian Cage.
Amazing?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. You all right? So what do you want me to say? Great?
Amazing, though.
I like Christian. What do you want from me? Christian is fire. Come on, man. We just talked about an amazing match Christian had a couple days ago for the SummerSlam 2011 rewatch that you can listen to on patreon.com/the8showrnc.
I'll let the people decide. Y'all decide
that. Christian is fine. I mean, now he won a trip to Nashville. I didn't like how that went down.
I saw this tweet where somebody complained that Goldberg gets all these matches. He works like 2 matches a year or something like that. Christian worked 9 times in the past 6 months or something like that. And then somebody quote tweeted it and was like, "Well, looks like Goldberg should be the one wearing the Outwork Everyone shirt."
Listen,
he needed a better.
Christian needs. I love Christian, but how he got tripped up, how Kenny Omega, who does this entire thing, and it's all this glass door stuff, and we're gonna open up the door, the forbidden door, and this is how business is gonna be done, and we're gonna revitalize the business, and manage to get away without actually having to lose to anyone in Impact is beyond me. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Christian needs if he needs an agent, just call me, because it looks like he needs a new agent, because he's been dropped this entire sack of thing. And no offense, I don't think Impact Wrestling is a burden, but I do think that it's kind of sketchy how that happens, and no one really calls him out for it. You know what I'm saying? No one really calls out Kenny Omega for it, but give Goldberg a wrestling match 2 times out of a year, and suddenly it's bad for business.
But okay, so that, and then you have Kenny not losing the AAA title on Sunday or Saturday, Triple Mania, when he really could have let Andrade beat him for it. Have you seen the stuff behind that? All of the BS behind that?
I've heard conflicting kind of things regarding it.
Here's the thing, it's not conflicting, it's coming from the same person. So at first,
shit.
Meltzer said AEW didn't want Kenny losing. Which, okay, let's just talk about the booking of that. You gave this man this many belts. He has to lose them at some point. We know he's quickly going into a program with either one of the 2 guys coming into AEW, whether it be Bryan or Punk. We know this. So why not just create a story of him losing the belts? Right? And giving one of them to Andrade, who desperately needs something on that weekly show.
To be honest with you, he's got mad belts. You're going to lose him anyway. When you lose him doesn't matter. You're going to lose him.
Exactly. Why are they protecting this? So Meltzer says that was AEW. So like everyone starts saying, okay, that's dumb. As they
and then
should.
Tony Khan hit him on the hip and was like, "Yo,
yes,
change his answer."
So now Meltzer and the head of AAA is saying that they wanted Kenny to win, and I say that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially with Andrade's first match back being there against Kenny. It made no sense.
To me, it doesn't make sense at all. And I also think just in general, it's just bad business. You know, you're trying to, when's the next time Kenny, I mean, I'm sure he'll be back eventually, but like Andrade, come on, he's right there. And he's the new hotness. And you need to put him over. This is giving me bad vibes. It's just giving me bad vibes, just in general.
Bad vibes. But listen, man, it's bad business altogether. What the why?
What do these people know about business, man? They put the damn pizza cutter thing right ahead of the Domino's thing. What do they know about business? What do they know? Tell me.
Where do you see this happening? Do you? I mean, I saw the match. People got mad at me because I said Andrade was Sin Cara with the Gucci belt.
Of course. Well, listen, I wanted to talk about that when we got to the hot takes thing on Thursday because people were mad at you. Well, I don't know about mad, but people are like, here goes that OG Johnny 5 again. Fuck this guy.
I ain't done nothing. I didn't know that they loved him so much. That they were actually. I know damn well.
People love Andrade, man. People love Andrade. I'll say with this. I don't necessarily agree.
Do they love him so much that they are willing to overlook the clear deficiencies when he left to when he got there at AEW? I watched everything he's done.
It's definitely a different style. Don't get me wrong. He was not someone. I don't think he was a finished product as of yet. Do I agree with you on his quality of work? No, but I don't disagree enough to actually fight about it. I don't really care. But Andrade, you know what?
You're not that guy. He's not.
He might not be. It might have been. You know, the gleam of a couple things in the business. Yeah,
the bright lights. Take Gargano away from him. Take Alistair away.
Put him back in suspenders, and he might have been on the release list a couple of years ago. To be honest with you,
take Zelina away from him
because it was the Zelina thing. It was the Zelina thing that turned him up.
I can keep going.
I mean, don't though.
Don't though. I end up right every time though.
Listen,
am I capping? I end up right every time. What I say about what's his name?
Shibata?
Yeah, Shibata. He not coming back. What I say about that? What I say about Leo Rush, Cap God.
Where Leo Rush at? Where's Leo Rush? How about that? How's he doing?
Making rap videos.
Oh, word?
Cap.
All right, well.
Yeah. I'm always right. Okay? Don't be mad because I'm the heel. I'll play the heel. Because y'all gonna be saying the same shit I'm saying in a couple months. Mark my words.
They never say what you're saying, but they gotta respect it now. And you can always throw it in their face.
They gotta respect it now. Fuck them. But yeah, Kenny Omega, still the champion.
A-Show 200, baby.
We'll be right back with SummerSlam predictions when we get back on the A-Show.
There's no better place to go than the park. You see, it takes me right back to my childhood, and also the time where I did my very first backflip. It's quite funny. We were all as kids growing up, we would go to the park for a game of tag, but I would use my acrobatic skills and avoid being tagged. But that's how it all started. That's what all began. I started to come to the park more and more, just so I can see how many different flips I could do. You see, I didn't have the safest childhood growing up, but I knew I could always come to the park, be my true self, meet friends, and be with my true thoughts. And now as my career as a 24/7 champion is taking off, I love to come here to think, reflect, and take in the fresh air.
The music in the background makes it sound like a Cialis commercial.
That was the first time I've ever heard that, by the way. I watch a large part of the latter part of Raw on mute. So to hear him, and not see this, but hear him. Whoo boy.
This is true. I mean, they're giving him a lot. I wouldn't.
When he said, like, I had a lot of my childhood memories at the park, I was like, wait a minute. Are you talking about the hashtag history? We talking about the apparently he's the acrobatic crip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we getting there.
I feel like we're getting closer. Every time to it. So one step at a time.
Yes, sir. We getting there. Okay. Let me tell you one thing. It was a cool segment. I don't hate I would never hate somebody for them giving him a chance and him not being where he's at yet. And what, like a month into the role, and he's just getting promos now.
Vince McMahon loves this guy though.
He loves him, and we've all loved Reggie since the beginning. So any type of success this guy gets, I'm all for it. I love it. I like the 20. They're giving the 24/7. I mean, he's defending it in 1-on-1 matches. That's how much they love this nigga.
If you love Reggie, put an emoji in the comments of this thing, and let me know if you love Reggie.
Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna get into SummerSlam prediction. SummerSlam taking place in Las Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium. I don't think I'm gonna make it this time. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
A damn shame. John Cena waiting for you. John Cena, by the way. John Cena. And you can't make it to SummerSlam. I don't know.
So my mom's here. My mom's visiting. I haven't seen my mom.
Tell your mom come too. I'm sure she want to see John Cena.
You do not want to be in a 40,000 person arena.
Listen, are they going to be vaxxed up in Vegas?
I mean, sure. I think they have to be, but you don't risk it. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
I haven't seen her since before COVID started, so that's almost 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
I saw her right before COVID hit.
Good for you. And now the good for you that you get to see her again. Shout out to that. Shout out to families being brought back together by vaccinations.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be extra safe. I'm being extra safe. I just can't do the turnaround. I can't do the turnaround.
Yeah. Can you go to Takeover?
In Florida?
Maybe. Shit, man. You can't do one, do the other. Now Florida was worse.
Anyway, SummerSlam, 10 matches on this show. What?
Uncharacteristically booked. That's all I gotta say for SummerSlam. Uncharacteristically booked. I'm wondering which of these matches ain't gonna get no damn time.
Well, I mean, I don't think you should wonder that. I think you should wonder what's gonna be on the pre-show.
Yeah, it's Mysterios, baby. Come on. Dominic?
Again? No, they're not gonna do that again.
Oh, yes, they will. I'm sure they will. They're not gonna put Drew on it.
Let's see. Let's go through it and then we'll name it.
Okay.
Whatever you think. Some glaring omissions here. Finn Balor, The New Day, Asuka, who I think she's on vacation, but
I hope so.
I don't think she's been backstage in a minute.
I hope so. I gotta watch Let me see Kana Chan. Where's she at with hers? Has she
at home?
dropped a video? Enjoying it. Let's see. She need to take a trip back home. They need to send everyone from Japan and tell them, like, yo, we're gonna give you 4, 5, 7 weeks off. Just go, enjoy things with your family, come back. Oh, look at Kana Chan in Florida.
Yeah, she has not. I don't think she's been backstage in a minute.
She's still making breakfast, huh?
She needs a break. I mean, she worked the full calendar year last year. She's
been doing amazing. Shout out to her. Look at that. I haven't watched Kana Chan TV in a minute. Shout out to that. Let's go over SummerSlam, but I'm gonna have this running in the background.
Okay. Well, what? Can't do that.
She's in Orlando right now. Ooh, okay. Kana Chan TV. All right, I'm turning.
The Pacquiao fight's not happening, so they're actually the only thing in town on Saturday.
Damn, him is WWE versus Usher. Which one of you?
The show will be over before then. It starts at 5 here. The Usher thing.
I wish I could have went to the Usher show, man. If I had put like 2 brain cells together and like, yo, I could go to Usher and then SummerSlam.
I don't know. I've been to the Mariah Carey one. I had to review it.
That didn't turn out good for you either, to be honest with you. It might have been Wool's worse, this Andrade thing or the Mariah Carey hate.
Mariah Carey thing. I'm not afraid of nerds.
Lambs.
I'm not afraid of
lambs, though. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy. Are they worse than the Barbs?
No. I knew you were gonna say Barbs, and ultimately no. Shout out to they. You know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. All I want to say is shout out to Nelson, because I know he had to go through some Barbs recently, and hopefully him, and his family has come out the other side. They're a destructive bunch.
What happened?
They targeted him and his girlfriend.
What did Nelson do? Whoa, I didn't hear about this. What happened?
I don't know what they did. Listen, I don't want to get into too many business before, but the Barbs were, listen, we had to report an account. That's all I had to know. That's all I knew. We had to report an account. The Barbs are doing too much. And I love Nicki Minaj's Queen Radio. And I love her new song with Bia. Whole lot of money.
That's a betrayal, if I've ever seen one.
But Barbs is, listen, I can't keep up. Barbs, carbs, don't fucking know it anymore.
You don't okay, let's get into the show. First up, just announced. Let's go with the just announced stuff. AJ Styles and Omos versus RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championship. This has been like the main storyline for Raw for 2 weeks, so I'd expect this to get on the main show, honestly.
They did their sweet ass time with dragging this thing out. And I don't want to say drag it because it wasn't like a dragging out, but the build for this, they took their time, man. Mm-hmm. Even the fake out last week, it was like, no, I won't be your partner. Fuck you. And then Randy being like, you know what, bro? I actually love you. And I've been holding it inside for quite some time. And now let's be a tag team. So it was giving me very old school wrestling vibes with the massive build to this tag team partnership, and began the match that we desire at SummerSlam. Now, where will the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships go? It's a good question.
AJ and Omos they've beaten everyone. There's nowhere else for them to go. I think the real story here is Mansoor and Ali being the ones that take it from whoever wins this. I think that's the story.
Do you think Orton and Riddle will split up?
Yeah, I mean it's just been really booked well. So like, I think that if they were to split, I would do it after they get a couple of tag wins in their belt. Because I mean, we haven't actually really saw them as a tag team yet. So I'd run it for a couple of weeks, if not months, at this point.
No, I mean, so my thing is, if it's going to lead to a violent split, if it's not going to lead to a split, I would not have them win it. But if it is, I would have them win. I mean, I think by WWE standards, if it's leading to a split, you're going to give them the tag team championships anyway.
Yeah.
But I could also see them being in a position where maybe they want AJ Styles to move to a different brand. Maybe they want him because he's a jumper. He jumps between Raw and SmackDown like that.
Yeah.
So I could see them moving him. I can't necessarily see them putting Riddle and Randy on SmackDown. So who knows? I mean, at this point, who knows? So I'm gonna pick Randy and Riddle.
I'll pick them too. I'll pick them too because they want to pop, and they want to Orton face pop. People have been wanting Orton to be like a tweener for a minute. The chemistry's there. Riddle's over his shit. Orton's over his shit. Have them face each other maybe at like December in TLC or something like that. Break them up before Survivor Series, and then have them go into TLC. I think the real long-term plan is, now that the guy got his issues out the way, that they want to put Riddle in that position. I mean, I was shooting in right now. I think Riddle is definitely in my top 3 predictions for Royal Rumble next year. So you want to give him that. You want to give him that. You want to give him that old head run with one of the old heads to kind of stamp him. And I think Orton's that guy.
Okay, I can see it.
Next up, we have Eva Marie with Doudrop versus Alexa Bliss. This was announced on Monday Night Raw this week. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Meelz?
I'm surprised it's happening. I'm really surprised. Not surprised.
Ain't no way that's pre-show either. Ain't no way that's pre-show either.
No, it's definitely not pre-show. I expect theatrics. I expect it's Eva Marie, who doesn't really wrestle, versus Alexa Bliss, who at this point in her career doesn't really wrestle neither. I don't expect a match. I expect shenanigans. I expect Doudrop to do a lot of the work and take a lot of the brunt of a lot of things, and Eva Marie to run out scathed. But I feel like, you know, at some point, I think we thought that Eva Marie would be like the baddest woman on the planet. Not like baddest woman on the planet, but essentially like the biggest heel on Raw. And I don't think she has been. I think this storyline has kind of tapered off a lot of that reaction, because generally I think people are reacting to it with more so I don't care than actual like strong feelings about this.
Well,
so,
I think people in their heads thought that maybe she was gonna outlap or overdo any of the women that were already established there, and I never thought that that was ever going to be the case when they brought her in.
So why is she here?
So when they, to get Dewdrop over.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean that's where it's leading. I mean, and then what I would do is I would have Dewdrop finally, try and kind of stand up for herself, and then Eva Marie has another heater that helps her beat Dewdrop. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that brings up another woman.
I wonder what Shayna Baszler's thinking. I bet Shayna's like, "Yo, this could have been me.
She was
this should have been me."
She was on the show.
Yeah. Nonetheless, no contest. I mean, Eva Marie has taken losses already, so it's not like a loss with her will actually matter. And Alexa Bliss at this point is just doing her thing. I'm calling it no contest. Something blows up.
You're also asking Eva Marie to act.
They've asked a lot from her. Have you seen the promos over the last number of months? They've asked a lot from her. She's in the biz.
They haven't been bad, but
I haven't cared. I just haven't cared. Yeah.
Next up, Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. Veer and Shanky are banned from ringside. So this is a regular ass match. Now, if you would have shown me this match 2.5 years ago, I would have shit on it. I'm willing to give it
during the peak of Jinder Mahal.
Now, I'm willing to give this match the benefit of the doubt because
why?
Because Drew McIntyre is a friend of the show.
Oh yes, of course.
He is involved, but just his involvement means that we're not going to get a total stinker. He's going to will Jinder to a good match that's worthy of it.
Predict the star count for this match. We're not even going to predict the winner because we know who the fuck it's going to be. Predict the star count for this match.
3.
Oh my God.
If you can get 3 stars, I'm gonna put an all-star patch on his jersey.
I'm gonna give it 2 3/4. Just a match that happened. I can't see this getting any amount of time on SummerSlam, like any worthy amount of time, considering there's 10 matches on here.
If it's a squash, people are gonna be so mad, but they're not.
I don't think people are gonna be. Yeah, I don't think people will care. I don't think people care about Jinder Mahal that much, to be honest with you. If it's a squash, people go up for Drew.
They just want to cheer Drew. You think?
Yeah,
I'm with that. I want to cheer Drew too.
Shout out to Drew, friend of the show.
Another person that helped etch our 200 episode legacy. Shout out to Drew McIntyre. Next up, Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship. Damian Priest on an island to himself with Miz and Morrison. Weird shit for months.
Do you give the title to Damian Priest? That's really kind of what you're asking right now. I say no.
Why do they protect Sheamus so much? I've never understood it.
Sheamus is just Sheamus. They love Sheamus. Big guy, can work, is a character. Irish. What's not to appreciate? If he's in AEW, he's the champion for 560 days. That's why they love Sheamus, because Sheamus is a guy. Now Damian Priest though.
But here's the thing, like, if he loses, they're just gonna 50-50 and he's gonna get the title on Raw or some shit.
I don't know.
Listen, man, the booking of the US title just in general is just so perplexing to me, because this is the one title that actually should get passed around a lot. Like, I don't get why so many people like hold it for so fucking long. Like,
I mean, I think it's just been a very heely title lately, because I think the 3 longest holders in recent memory have been Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, and who came before Bobby? Bobby beat Andrade. Andrade was U.S. champion last year. Wow. I mean, and who did he beat? Rey Mysterio. And then who did he beat? Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, yeah.
So it's a very Healy belt. It's a Healy belt. I have no interest in this match, though. I have no. Surprise me, please. Like,
Well, because here's my thing. Well, the reason that there's no fucking interest in it is because half of the feud has not even been between Damian and Sheamus themselves. Like there's been no heat towards it. I love Damian, okay? And I think that, he disappeared for a minute, which was weird. Showed up into the zombie match. I get it. You had to end that feud with Miz and Morrison. But then he came back and he's still doing the same shit. It's like dumb. And then the Miz and Morrison, they have a fight and then they make up at the end of the show.
They're splitting. I'm sure they're splitting.
Who's going to be the one splitting? Who's going to be the heel here?
I don't know, but it didn't work out the last time, so I don't know if they should necessarily. I think they want to split to get Miz doing single things again and Joe Mo to do singles thing again, but the split never worked out last time neither.
You think they're going to split in the draft? They need to. I'm done with these two.
Just a but I don't know what you do with John Morrison on his own. Like, what does he become? Who does he become? His entire run has been with Miz. Even the best days of his career have been with the Miz. Even back in the day.
Oh, here you go.
Sorry, but a little truth serum came out, but facts. Sheamus wins.
I'm gonna say Damian wins.
Okay.
I want to say Damian wins. That you know why? Because so many baby faces have lost on Raw. Like all the baby faces lost on Monday.
You're right.
Like even Nick is picking up dumbass losses for no reason to heels. It doesn't make any sense. I think that, but you never know. They might swerve things, but the way they push Sheamus, like they protect this motherfucker so bad. I thought Riddle was going to beat him at Mania and he didn't. So who knows? I'll go Drew. Not Drew. I'll go Damian just to have a split here. Next up, Edge versus Seth Rollins. 7 years in the making. Like I said last week, we don't need to be sold on this match. We don't need much of a sell.
No, you don't. It's just, it is. It is what it is. If you ask me who's winning this match, I think it's Edge.
It's gonna be Edge
needs a win. Edge has lost consecutively since Royal Rumble. Like, he's won on SmackDown, but he's not won an actual, like, besides the Royal Rumble, and I think that match against Randy, he has not won a single important match since returning.
Yeah. Listen,
there's always room for a rematch.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I too have the same worry that you do with Edge. I do think he tends to overthink things, but I do think Seth has become so much of his own character now that whatever Edge decides to do, I think Seth can balance it out really well. I'm really looking forward to what the psychology will be. I don't want this to be like holds and shit when they first start. I want this to be like a fight. Like this should be a fight. I actually think there should have been a stip. There's like a very, very big lack of stipulation matches on SummerSlam, and that's so unlike this show.
I think we'll get a stipulation for this match eventually, because I think Extreme Rules is coming up. I believe at some point.
Is it next?
It probably is next.
It's next. It's that, and then Clash of Champions. So yeah,
there you go. Bada bing, bada boom.
If it's not a stip match, I think Seth's gonna win this. To have Edge
to agree to disagree. I gotta say Edge,
because you want to redo the foot on the neck thing. You want to redo that.
You can have him do it after the match. Give me a little Shawn Michaels versus Triple H 2002, where Shawn Michaels wins and it's like, oh my god, he's won, yes, and then he like destroys his back for no reason. Let him destroy his neck, take a couple of weeks off. Man is very invigorated and angry. He says, yo, I'll see you at Extreme Rules. And the only match I know that can take you down and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, well, I would love if we actually did that on the show. Next up, Nikki Ash versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. I had said this was the most. I had said this was the most important program on Raw, and I mean, it gets like the most time of anything. It got more time than the WWE Championship or Raw. Like, this was the most
Which is bullshit because Raw's 3 hours. Why are they having 2 sets of matches? Like, man.
They had them women working on Monday, and I was like, why the fuck is Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash on my screen again, and they're working together, and she just beat her?
And it was to the point where you're like, oh, who could be Charlotte's tag team partner? I don't even fucking know. And you're like, oh yeah, Nia Jax exists. Oh my God. She looks great. But yeah. I am the best thing about this feud is we've finally reached the point where it'll be over. It'll be over in some fashion or stretch of imagination, at least in this triple threat Vantage, because them doing this thing where Charlotte is sitting outside waiting for things to happen and then she shows up and starts kicking people, not with it. Not with it at all.
I think the match is going to be good because I think these three work really well together. I cared? I think Charlotte really does bog down programs, and I think the fact that they don't know what to do with Rhea even made it even worse.
I think because they are terrible. I don't think, all right, terrible is a stretch, but they're not writing anything original for Charlotte. That's kind of it to me. Charlotte, to me, enhances a lot of things because she has these great matches. But I think just the things that she's kind of given over the last number of weeks has been so, like, redundant. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. You've been doing this for months. We understand it's your gimmick. Give me something more. Demand something different. You're a different plan, please. Something, please. You show up, you talk, you do all this other stuff like that. I appreciate it. I love Charlotte. Charlotte is amazing. Let's do something else, please.
Get her away from the title.
Yeah.
Get her away
Let's
from the
just
title.
do something else. Just do something else.
I would hate to be mean with this, but I think Rhea Ripley's probably going to win this match.
Yeah. It's looking like Rhea country.
Yeah.
If they take it away from Nikki Ash is finished, by the way. For the time being. Currently right now.
I don't think she's finished. I think the feud is going to be Rhea and Nikki in the fall. It should be. But I think Rhea's just so like the Nikki stuff's weird, right? They're booing her for like literally no reason. Like I don't think the character's that bad. But I also think
not edgy. We're in a world where you need to be a little bit edgy as a face.
But it's only adults booing her. But
kids, because it's a gimmick for kids.
So like it is really weird. I think Rhea is probably more over than everyone here.
And
but,
probably in proximity to Nikki Ash. That's why, Nikki Ash is being booed and Rhea is being cheered because Rhea has an edge and Nikki Ash is for fucking kids. No offense to Nikki Ash.
I think she's great.
But, yeah, I think she's great. It's for kids though. It's for kids. They gave her a little edge when she attacked Charlotte. I'll say that.
Who do you think's winning this one?
Damn.
Just rewind yourself.
Charlotte.
Don't say Charlotte.
It's the easiest answer.
Don't say Charlotte.
I feel like they're always in a tiff, and they're like, "Fuck it, give it to Charlotte. Who cares?"
I think
we're padding this shit anyway.
I think Rhea's going to be 2-time champ.
Charlotte is also undefeated at SummerSlam. I don't know if that's a statistic that means anything, but she is undefeated at SummerSlam.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Nothing.
Okay.
I can't believe you said Charlotte.
She's undefeated at SummerSlam. What do you want me to do? Bet against the odds? That's not how betting works, my friend.
It's wrestling. Next up, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Much better booking and writing and creative than the first time they fought, and much better writing, booking and creative than the Raw Women's Championship stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Sasha's in her element. She's the bad bitch. She is in her mode right now. She is moving it, peaking at all cylinders. Like she is doing everything right now. It's amazing. And I think Bianca Belair, she's going to take it up to another level too. I think this match is going to be fantastic. I think we've shed the idea of first black women main eventing WrestleMania, this main event thing. I think we've shed all that image, and now we can get to kind of like, wrestle and do your shit, like do your thing. But yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say Bianca Belair was going to win this match. You can attribute it to bias. I don't think it's bias. I think I would have called it if she wasn't on the show. But I definitely think it enhanced my opinion of her being on the show. So I'm going to say Bianca Belair because she laughed at all my jokes.
I'm going to let the people decide that one. I'm going to let the people decide. This was tough for me, Meelz, because I feel like Bianca needs some adversity right now. And I feel like if Sasha does get what looks to be a stable with Zelina and Carmella.
Ew, I hope that was just a one-time thing.
Hey, man.
Shout out to them wearing halves of an outfit.
You know who would make more sense in that stable than either of those women? Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Aaliyah from
I don't think Sasha Banks can't do a stable. Stable, you got to step back and give. She ain't stepping back. She ain't giving. The only thing she giving is Sasha. All capital letters, baby.
She could try. She better try.
I don't think so. I think it's a detriment to these especially Carmella, who thinks Carmella is like a variant of Sasha, but white.
You just how to do this shit.
She's evolved into a variant of Sasha, and Sasha has then stepped her game up to look completely different.
She'll say, I am the boss, and you are my bitches.
You know, it's like, it would be like Destiny's Child, but you know how Beyonce was always in front? Like, Beyonce would have, like, the outfit that was, like, fire with the booty shorts, and, like, Michelle would have, like, a long dress.
Man, that was way too descriptive. Like, what are the booty shorts? With anything.
She would have the booty shorts, and, like, Michelle would have, like, a long dress, and, like, maybe Kelly would have, like, I don't know, some other long pants, something. But it was clear, like, Beyonce is like, wow, ta-da, watch out now.
This man is way too horny, Your Honor. This man is way too horny, okay?
Shut up. Bianca Belair wins this match. Who you got?
Sasha Banks.
Okay.
Through some BS methods, Sasha Banks. They got to start padding her title reigns too. They have to. Yeah, how many times is she?
She's 5. I think she's 5.
I thought she was 8.
Sasha?
Yeah, I thought she was 8.
No, let me look it up right now.
Altogether. Okay, altogether. 1, 6, 7. She's 7.
You talking about the tag team championships?
No, she's 7.
5,
she won
6.
Raw 5, NXT once, and SmackDown once.
Oh, okay.
They count. Okay. They're counting Charlotte's, so we got to count Sasha.
They gotta take that shit away because that don't really count. They need to stop capping with the NXT thing.
She's 7 times. So they got to start patting her shit. I say Sasha ends her career about 11. 11.
Okay. I mean, I'm still pick Bianca Belair. I think she's gonna toss Sasha Banks off a fucking building. But
how many is Bailey? Don't answer too quick, Novak. 4. That's nice.
Yeah. Listen. And cool. Becky's up there too. Becky won a title on the 2 title reigns same night. She's padded, baby. Come on.
Super padded.
She gonna do it again at SummerSlam. Do you think Becky returns at SummerSlam? Prediction time, baby. Come on.
Here's the thing. If that match isn't main eventing, then no.
If Punk shows up on Rampage, Becky is showing up at SummerSlam.
No, she's not.
They don't
give a fuck about that.
They're lying.
If Bianca and Sasha is ending the show, then Becky is showing up. That's
also, if Punk shows up at Rampage, I'm gonna laugh because I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that on a fucking Friday night? I mean, I guess you want people watching, but on fucking Rampage, do it on the regular show or the pay-per-view or whatever the hell it is.
It's an announcement of an announcement. Like the announcement is that he's gonna be on Dynamite next week.
Or they do a swerve, do a little Daniel Bryan.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not interested either way. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
I'm interested. But nonetheless, let's continue with the show because 1 is going long. 2, I gotta pee.
Okay. The Usos versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They do this a lot. They do this match a lot.
Oh yeah, because they've done all variations. In all variations, Rey Mysterio's like, son, you gotta win. Like, please, I need this. Please win. Stop being whack and win, please. That's Rey Mysterio's promo every week.
I don't think there's enough tag teams for these championships to be viable on SmackDown. I think it's funny that Raw actually has more tag teams. I think, or are they even? I think they're even.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you at all.
Raw scene just seems way more active, I guess, and that's why. But
you got Otis and them and shit.
To me, all roads lead to Street Profits, and I really just want to see Usos. Yeah, I want to see Usos and Street Profits. So I got the Usos winning here. There's no reason.
I got the Usos winning. Yeah, fuck that. No offense to Dominic, but fuck that shit.
Yeah, there's no real reason for these two to have the tag team championships again. So
yeah, we got the father-son thing. We don't got to do it twice. Y'all did it once. Once is an experience, baby. After that, I don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore.
Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Ooh.
Let's predict the time. We got to do it. You can predict the time like we did with Drew. What's the time?
7 minutes.
I'm gonna say I was desperately wrong last time.
Was I close?
You were wrong too. No, you weren't. You weren't close because it went over your time too.
You say?
No, you said like a short time. You said like 90 seconds. And it, yeah, I was there. I'm gonna say 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Sure. The real fear here
is that Goldberg wins.
Yeah, is that Goldberg wins. Let me tell you one thing.
Goldberg and his son win, and he holds the championship up while his son is also holding him up, or something like that.
It's the one title Goldberg hasn't won yet. Is the WWE title.
Does Vince want that? He's like, I don't know if I want this. I want this guy holding my belt.
Well, he'd have to come back next month, and that would be the next match they'd have. They'd do it again next month.
Extreme Rules with Goldberg, Bill Goldberg.
You fire. Yeah,
you don't want Bill Goldberg with any sharp objects around him.
An Extreme Rules match with Goldberg and Lashley would be more fire than what the fuck we're getting with this. I haven't given a shit.
I don't want Goldberg with any sharp objects around him at all. He has not had a great history.
What is sharp?
Fucking limo windows. How about that?
Limos? What is wrong with you?
Fucking steel chairs.
That's not sharp.
He's gonna run through a steel chair. The chair is going to explode, and his brain is going to explode too.
What does this mean? What does this mean? I think
Bobby winning. I think Bobby's winning we getting Goldberg out of here.
They need to get Bobby out of here. I think Bobby's gonna win, but they need to get Bobby out of here.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But if Goldberg wins, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I know we would be maniacally laughing up and down the timeline at everyone who's mad. So.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like the big woo.
I'd be like LOL. Yeah.
Bitches. No, but you know why we laughing? You know why we be laughing? Because this is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted Drew out the
yeah. Yo, Sting is hip tossing fucking 20-year-olds on the other television show.
Yeah, this isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, he beat up 2 members of Everrise at once. Just off the strength of being Sting. So let Goldberg cook. And Goldberg, it looks like he's in amazing shape as well. So
I love it. I love his son. He looks like he's next up. Main event, this is what has to be the main event. Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal Championship. I'm gonna set it off right here. Okay. Well, let's talk about the promo from SmackDown on Friday. I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Just great television. First 25 minutes, knocked it out the park. Incredible. Got all the shots in. Nikki Bella caught a stray. She thought she was safe. Now she's back in the mix. She can't wait to go on her Bella podcast or Us Weekly or something and be like, I think the men should shut up. I think me as a woman need, blah, 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 blah.
I'm gonna be clear with you right now.
Okay.
Just give it to John. Give it to John.
I'm gonna be clear with you right now. People are calling Edge and Seth Rollins to steal the show. I think this match is going to steal the show.
The acting exclamation point between these two. It's going to be all shade.
Listen, they're going to have a whole cutscene. Suddenly the top square, the top black square and the bottom black square are going to hang on the screen. And it's going to be mad cinematic for no reason.
We're going to get widescreen 16:9.
Yeah, we're going to get all that shit.
Listen, man, the acting.
You're going to be like, is John Cena mic'd up? Is he mic'd up? Hold up. Wait a minute.
Listen, there are many reasons why I think John Cena should just go ahead and break the tie, because it is the ultimate thank you to this man.
Is it because of what Flair did this weekend?
I didn't think of it that way, but if that's the case, like, I mean, this guy is the new age Flair in a lot of ways. So many look at how many.
He's gonna say some sly shit if he does. He's like, I respect John, but
I don't know why he would say anything sly. John has wrestled at a high clip his whole career.
Very true.
Are there many arguments to anyone who's under the age of like 50 or 40 that John Cena couldn't be in that conversation with Ric Flair? I don't see that there's many arguments that he isn't. He changed the game.
Very true.
Am I wilding?
No, you're not wilding at all.
Give it to John. Have Roman win it back at Extreme Rules, and then have Roman drop it at WrestleMania or whatever.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but
I'm gonna pick John Cena because this is the guy that's single-handedly putting asses in seats for you this summer. And afterwards, you want to have everyone come to your shows because he's going to be doing more shows in September. And then Extreme Rules have him lose, and ride him to the sunset.
I think Roman's going to win because Roman is just unstoppable right now. He is the big bad. He is just on a tear.
How many people are going to get fed to him before he loses at one time?
A lot. There's more to come.
I think they want to break the year though. That's you
thinking Finn is not weighing in the wings
to get 8 alive? Sure.
Finn, we're gonna be stretching Finn to at least 3 matches out of this thing.
Yeah, well, you can't do 3 matches with Finn unless you do one on SmackDown, because the thing about Roman's fall is that his schedule gets decidedly easier because 1 or 2 of those pay-per-views he can take off. So Survivor Series, you don't have to worry about a challenger for that. TLC, which I'm guessing will be TLC in December in Chicago, he could technically sit out for that if he wanted to, and do a tag match or some shit. So he gets an easy schedule in the fall. So if Finn wanted to do it, yeah, you could do Finn at Extreme Rules, Finn at Clash of Champions. But then it's like you run into the same storyline issue that we always have with Roman, is that like it's inevitable and that something screwy happens and he doesn't lose.
I don't know. I just feel like Finn is the direction. Roman versus Finn. And I feel like we need that. So I'm going to pick Roman Reigns as the victor in this match.
So do you feel as though if Roman does win, that it is Roman, and then Finn beats Cena on TV, probably. And then I guess I would imagine Finn would beat Cena to become the number 1 contender or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Or they do a triple threat. One of those two.
I don't even know if it need to be a number 1 contender, but I just feel like Finn is going to beat Cena anyway. Just because like he needs that rub to get to he doesn't need it, but like they're going to do it anyway.
It's a great rub to give.
I owe you one. Yeah, you owe me one. Let's get it rocking.
Yeah. I'll say Cena. You'll say Roman. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Sorry. On Saturday.
On Saturday. Did you count how many times they said this Saturday on fucking Raw?
They have to train you. They have to train the audience to say it. I don't know why people were complaining about that. They have to train you. It's on a different day. Legit. It's on a different day. They have to keep saying it.
And people was like, yo, I got hoes on Saturday. That's how it kind of felt, where people were just like, yo, I got things to do on. Why is this on Saturday? I was like, relax, nigga.
You'll be all right. It's fine.
Take off Monday.
As soon as they do something different, then it's a problem. So shut the fuck up. Real quick. I'm sorry to keep keeping you here. Takeover. Walter and Dragunov still in the show?
Yeah. I
just
love
think
good, hard-hitting fucking British people.
I just think O'Reilly and Cole are just gonna go way too long. I
don't think
know
they're
people are gonna
British.
they're gonna be complaining about that main event for years, but I think it's gonna go way too long. But yeah, Takeover is happening on Sunday. And yeah, let me cue this up real quick.
Yeah, do you have the last call ready? Put on loop too.
There you go.
All right. Lower down a little bit. All right, listen. We're here. 200th episode. Oh, wait, no, not last call. Fucking family thing. Switch your song. Sorry.
No.
I completely fucked up the song. It's Family Business.
No. Keep going.
You don't want to switch to the Family Business? All right, whatever.
You're already going.
Okay. So I want to give a shout out to all of our patrons. Shout out to X. Shout out to Geoff Trotter. Shout out to Jonathan McLean. Brandon Duggar. Shout out to Duggar. Shout out to John Pierce. Big Jeff, co-host of Lookout. We got Kel Lacey. Shout out to you. Ezra Owl. The Daily Smark. Aaron Busby. Kenny Brophy. Ron Ryan. Big Tim. Donnell Jones. Big fan. Marlon Jackson. Christopher Novak. Shout out to you, Chris.
We love you, Chris.
Gotta go to the next page because we're on 2 pages now with these patrons now. You see, this is gotta flip them. Scott Burton, Daryl Akins, Tyrell Walden. Shout out to you. Thank you. Amber Peoples, Marcus Flowers, Cameron Glover, Chris, Big Rig. Shout out to my guy Big Rig. Antonio Salgado. Shout out to you, my guy. Other Justin. Shout out to you. Namesake. Love it. Dr. Curtis Webb. I told you I'm gonna call you Doctor for the rest of your life. Chris Nelson. I love you, Nelson. We gonna get these barbs. Z-Man. Okay. Asani Dream. Did I say that right?
Probably not. Keep going.
Fuck you. Sinvidius, as always.
Hall of Famer.
John Highland. Amp. Shout out to the Random Acts of Podcast, always. Evan Stokes. Rob. Shout out to Rob. Ugly Radio. Coming back. Jose. Shout out to you. Kellen Manning. Shout out to you. Ronald Richmond. Shout out to you. Chris Mack, shout out to you. Henny Omega, shout out to you. I gotta let the beat breathe a little.
It fucked you out. It fucked you up.
Jimmy Francis. Jason Knight. Kassan Gatewide, shout out to you. Joel Kananin. Damn.
Oh, it's Joel, not Joel.
Joel. I'm sorry if I'm a little Hispanic. Josh, I'm not Hispanic. Josh Ridge. Joshua Hill. Darren Azell. DJ Larry. Shout out to you, Larry. Love you. Stefan Dimitri. Brett Royster. Angel. James Carter. Mike Brown. Nick Simon. JD Jackson. I am Jay Brandon. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Jalen Steverson, Mario Lewis, John Cowell, Sam Payne, Catherine Haggerty, Kit Chung, and newest patron, shout out to you, Chuck. Shout out to you, my friend.
We did it.
That's all we did it. Shout out to everyone who's a guest on the A Show for the past 200 episodes, man.
Yeah, that goes for Shayna Baszler, Cesaro, Samoa Joe. Carmella was a guest one time. Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair, of course. Thank you so much. The Miz, thank you so much. Bailey, you were supposed to be on the show. We're gonna get you when you get back. Shout out to Malcolm Bivens, did some shit for us. Shout out to Wale, did some shit for us before. Of course, Young Littlefoot. I know you heard the Bianca shout out. There you go.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Jeff J. Shout out to
J. Yes.
Love you.
Mark, of course, 206, 205 in Park always lives on. Cyrus, of course. Who else, man?
Quan.
MJ.
Shout out to Quan.
Quan,
MJ.
MJ, Kahlo, Channing, Armand, CC.
The Rock.
Yeah.
You know, they the Rock.
Oh, thank you to everybody who has.
Shout to. Let me continue. Shout to Bill. Shout out to fuck, I'm trying to remember guests off my head now.
You know, was it?
We've had more.
Ben Coyle was a guest. Shout out to everybody in the Russell Chat Discord. Just period.
It's the Rock. You know what I'm saying? I want to give another hold on, because I have to note this because we got some news over the weekend. Wasn't the best news, but it's still. Shout out to hold on. I want to make sure I get his name right. Jamail Hepburn. This show's dedicated to you, my man, because you know we got the news over the weekend. Chris Hero, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Real
he tweeted about it.
Yeah, real hero. Shout out to him. He was, and I'm gonna cut it down for a little bit just to talk about this guy. He was a great person who, when he initially hit me up and followed me, I thought that he was gonna be like, you know, one of those guys that didn't exactly like a lot of the stuff that I said about either just New Japan or just, you know, things that I really actually feel. And he actually would reach out and say, yo, I love what you're doing. I love the show. I fuck with the show. Completely supported it, you know, completely, you know, would give me matches to watch, would you know, and this is a guy that I only knew from Daily Motion, him putting up all the New Japan shows. This was the guy, and I was like, yo, you're the guy. You know what I mean? And he was just so supportive of the show, so supportive of the A show, supportive of me, supportive of everything me and Meelz was doing. And, you know, to have someone kind of be in your corner from that side of the IWC is just crazy. So, you know, when that was announced, it really hit me. It hit me hard, you know, and, you know, just rest in peace to him. I hope his family, you know, I'll keep them in my prayers. I hope that they can make sense of all of this, and, you know, keep him and his family in your prayers. You know, shout out the real hero, man.
Absolutely. Shout out to kind of everyone. Sorry. Shout out to Darius, first of all. Darius, one of our early Royal Rumble winners. Shout out to Sinvidius, another one. Shout out to just kind of, damn, I want to go down the list, but there's so much names. Shout out to everybody, man. Jeff, RNC, shout out to everybody. 200 episodes. We couldn't have done this. We couldn't have done this without everyone's support. And we wouldn't have done this, because if we hadn't gotten support, I would have been like, yo, fuck this show.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going long. Thank you all for listening to A Show 200. Make sure you check us out on Twitter Spaces at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday. And we have more news coming out this week for the A Show, and especially for our patrons as well. So for Meelz, I'm Justin. Please be safe. And we'll see you next week.
Happy fucking Rusev Day.
Fuck that nigga.